Here's more wrestling news for August 11th, 2022. And we're kicking off with AEW, and in recent weeks, there's been a lot of talk about the promotion's backstage atmosphere, which has reportedly been chaotic thanks to the outbursts of Tony Khan. A lot has been reported about Khan and his antics behind the scenes, but when addressing the reports in an interview with Superstar Crossover, the AEW president isn't seeing any locker room unhappiness. "We have a great crew, we're very happy with the shows we've been doing, we have a great team of people. I recently did some promotions and added to the team. With a new group, hopefully, the communication is only going to get better because I can only be in so many places at one time and talk to so many people with such a big team." Those hirings Khan referenced are believed to be two names who will ease his workload and will hopefully quell some of the AEW president's most erratic outbursts. Khan may not be admitting it publicly, but his actions show that he is aware of problems backstage, and we'll just have to see if AEW's backstage environment can become as fantastic as the company owner claims it already is. In March, Tony Khan appeared on AEW programming to announce that he has purchased Ring of Honor, but that's not entirely the case. While Khan now has a large investment in the company, it was covered yesterday that, thanks to recently uncovered trademark documents, Khan isn't the full owner of ROH. Instead, the only copyright Khan owns himself is for ROH's video library, and the copyright holder for ROH Wrestling Entertainment LLC itself is linked to Sinclair Broadcasting. On Twitter, Buck Starsky gave an update on the situation, revealing that the former Ring of Honor COO Joe Koff is unhappy about the situation. Koff's belief is that everything should have been finalized in May and not in March, as some had believed when Khan announced he owned ROH. It was explained that when Khan ran the Supercard of Honor in April, that was seen as a mistake, as the company is still owned to some degree by Sinclair Broadcasting. This puts liability on Sinclair for assets, so if anything goes wrong in what many believe to be Tony Khan's promotion, it's Sinclair who will likely have to pay out. Hopefully, Khan will be able to sort out all his paperwork issues, and soon, as the young promoter seems to have jumped in too fast into owning ROH. One name who's got experience with AEW and ROH is WWE's Cody Rhodes, who has been out for months now with a torn pectoral. Despite the injury, Cody fought through the pain to compete at June's Hell in a Cell Premium Live event, and while WWE has estimated a March return date, many think he'll be back much earlier than that. Some have suggested that the date WWE has given is to set up a surprise return at the 2023 Royal Rumble, but the American Nightmare could be back even earlier than that. In a tweet from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, the home of the August 22nd Raw, it advertises a singles match between Cody and Seth Rollins, though the former TNT champion doesn't feature on the poster. Neither Cody nor Rollins have publicly commented on the supposed match they're going to have later this month, but it could be that the arena has accidentally spoiled the return of one of WWE's top stars. Cody did recently tweet asking what's next, and it appears a rematch with Seth Rollins, months ahead of his scheduled return, could be what's next for the American Nightmare. We mentioned earlier how things have been difficult backstage in AEW, and one wrestler who is seemingly unhappy in AEW right now is Miro, who liked to tweet claiming he had things better in WWE. A three-time former WWE United States champion, the Bulgarian wrestler did plenty during his years with the company, but isn't eyeing up a return. As he explained to Renee Paquette on The Sessions, Miro said that when he hears from his good friend Sheamus and the 4 to 5 days a week the former world champion works, he believes it's far too much, and he prefers AEW's more relaxed schedule. Miro added that he also wants the free time to work on projects outside of the wrestling world, something he believes is far more possible as part of AEW. While WWE has its eyes on several AEW stars, Miro isn't interested in a return, or at least not until WWE changes the busy schedule it forces on its roster. Miro may not be ready to don the Rusev name again, but there has been talks about who could possibly follow Cody Rhodes into WWE. Rhodes has certainly been treated well since returning at WrestleMania 38, and Booker T has his picks for who should be next. On his Hall of Fame podcast, Booker spoke about who he believes could make the move, saying, "I'd love to see Wardlow as well as Andrade come back to WWE because he's not doing anything significant in AEW. Not saying that he's not going out and performing, he's performing, But if you think about Andrade in WWE, and he had some star on him, he had some upside, but I don't know, I could be wrong about this, I could be wrong. Wardlow has never competed in WWE before, but it has been reported in the past that the company has a great deal of interest in the reigning TNT champion. As for Andrade, he left in 2020 after being denied but later granted his release request, but did recently like a tweet stating that he'd do better in WWE. This new era of WWE has many people optimistic for the future of the company, and it could be this optimism that brings either Wardlow or Andrade to Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan's promotion. This week, it was reported that John Laurinaitis' 21-year tenure with WWE has come to an end due to his alleged involvement in the Vince McMahon scandal. Laurinaitis wasn't liked in WWE, with one high-profile name branding him as Snake, but the former general manager of both Raw and SmackDown does have some defenders. Speaking on his Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T had praise for Johnny Ace, who he worked with both in WCW and later in WWE. Laurinaitis, I give the dude a whole lot of credit for making me a much better performer. He was very, very instrumental in my career in making me challenge myself to think a whole lot more and be better. So yeah, man, sad day for me. I'm sad to see Laurinaitis step down, I really am. Booker may be a fan of Laurinaitis, but he's in the minority in WWE, and most people are reportedly elated to see him go and Triple H take over as head of talent relations. After 21 years in WWE, Laurinaitis will have to search for work elsewhere, and given the claims against him, that may prove to be difficult for the former head of talent relations. Last Sunday, Ty Conti and Sammy Guevara married, and the two will be appearing this Friday at the Quake by the Lake Rampage. Interestingly, for the promotional material for their upcoming AAA Mixed Tag Titles match with Dante Martin and Sky Blue, Ty isn't known as Ty Conti, but rather Ty Mello. Ty got the Conti name from her previous marriage to judoka Jorge Conti, and while she could have used the Guevara name, Ty Mello is proud to represent her own family name going forward in AEW. Last month, Ric Flair competed in his final match, teaming with Andrade El Idolo to defeat Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. Flair's last match came 14 years after his first retirement match in 2008, so we can't exactly blame fans for being skeptical that he's gone for good. It turns out that the fans are right to be skeptical of Rick, as during the latest episode of his To Be the Man podcast, the Nature Boy admitted that he regrets the promise he made. I wish I hadn't said it was my last match, that's gonna get heat. Hell, they wanted me to wrestle in Puerto Rico on Saturday night. I said, guys, I cannot get in the ring 1 week later. And the guy looked at me and said, well, you know what, could you retire in Puerto Rico, can't you? Instead of wrestling in Puerto Rico, Flair managed his son-in-law for the match, but did still get physical with fellow WWE Hall of Famer Carlos Colon. Flair is retired, at least for now, but it's clear that he's not lost the wrestling bug, and it may just be a matter of time before the dirtiest player in the game steps foot back in the ring. We've got some sad news to report next, as Judo legend Gene Lebell has died at the age of 89. Lebell was best known for his work in Judo, but also had a role in other martial arts, pro wrestling, and even as a Hollywood stuntman. Trained by the legends Lou Thez, Carl Gotch, and Ed Strangler Lewis, Lebell would become a trainer himself as his career wound down, working with the likes of Roddy Piper and current SmackDown superstar Ronda Rousey. It was Lebell who was the referee for the iconic Muhammad Ali vs. Antonio Inoki fight, and he held many pro wrestling titles, including reigns as NWA TV and Tag Champion, in addition to the NWA Hawaii Championship. For WWE fans, Lebell may be best known as the man who invented the Lebell Lock, which Daniel Bryan would adopt in WWE as the Yes Lock. In a statement from WWE.com, the promotion praised Lebell as a towering figure in the world of martial arts and highlighted his nickname as the Godfather of Grappling. Known for being a man nobody wanted to cross, Gene Lebell made an impact in so many ways, and we'd like to offer our condolences to his family at this sad time. And we're ending today with AEW, who not too long ago ran 2 weeks of Shark Week themed episodes of Dynamite in collaboration with Discovery's annual celebration of all things shark. The tie-in was the latest IP crossover AEW has participated in, and the company will have another crossover later this month. AEW's Winter is Coming event name gained its title from HBO's Game of Thrones series, but a more recent event will directly collab with the House of the Dragon prequel, which will take place 300 years before the beloved series. The August 17th episode of AEW Dynamite will be presented by House of the Dragon, with the prequel series premiere coming 4 days later on August 21st. A lot has been changing and cancelled in the wake of the Warner Bros. Discovery merger, but AEW seems to have escaped for now, and fans can look forward to what'll be an interesting episode of Dynamite next week. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.